Hello and welcome to another episode of Trip 101 Travel Talk series. Today we are discussing the oldest city in France, and joining me are Abhijeet and Kajal from Poland. A warm welcome to both of you. Thank you for joining me for the session.
Thank you so
Thank you.
much.
Thank you so much.
We'll just get into discussing Marseille and France a little bit more and your trip. But before that, I want to know about you guys. Tell me, like, where you're from, what do you do, and how frequently do you travel?
Okay, so basically, I'm Kajal,
And I
and
am Abhijeet, and we both are located in Poland, but we are from India.
yes, I'm born and brought up in Mumbai.
I'm from Jamshedpur. I was born and brought up there. Then I moved to Maharashtra for my work, and it's been a long time. I've been staying in Maharashtra. Then I found Kajal, and that's how it started. 2 years back, we moved to Poland, and
Hmm.
that's how this journey, European journey, started. And we visited few countries back in 2022 when we had our first Europe trip, and we actually loved it, and we were mesmerized by the beauty of Europe. And that's when it triggered us. We also want to have something, and we want to explore more.
That's one common point that we
Yeah.
had. We wanted to travel the world always and explore new places, new culture, meet new people. So
Hmm.
that's where our travel journey started. It's still going.
And we want to continue.
That's nice. So when was this trip that you went to, in which you also went to Marseille?
This year, 2024, so we plan to visit the French Riviera, and it was Abhijeet's birthday. So we were thinking where to go, and we wanted to explore some new place. And like Abhijeet was mentioning, that our first Europe trip was to France for work, but we had some time to travel. France was one place that I was very much mesmerized, because a lot of people think that France is only about Paris, because when you think France, you think about Paris. So that's the ideal picture that we have in our mind, but that's not entirely true, because
Yes.
France is more about a lot of other cities as well. And
Hmm.
in our first trip as well, we got a chance to visit Annecy, which was one other city in France. We were mesmerized, and it was hard to believe that city was in France after you see place like Paris, because Paris has both the sides. So that time we decided to visit other cities in France too.
Hmm.
And on Abhijeet's birthday, we decided let's cover the French
French.
Riviera and let's explore the other side of France that a lot of people don't know about, especially we Indians don't know about, and we don't go to that place. So we thought, let's make videos, let's go there and let's explore. And that's when we went to Marseille, which was the part of our trip to the whole French Riviera. We started the trip from
Nice.
Nice. We explored cities like Saint-Tropez and Cannes.
We
We,
went to S Village. We went
yes,
to Monaco, one of the world's smallest country, and we also visited places like Marseille.
Marseille, yes,
And
and we were mesmerized by Marseille too. But yes, that's how we landed to Marseille.
Oh, nice. So how did it run up against your expectations? Because you had been to France, so you were now expecting something wow again, apart from like Paris, the other France, which you were
yeah.
expecting to be wowed by it. So did it wow you again, or how was it?
Yes, it definitely did, because when you go to Paris, you won't imagine a beach in France, but the other side of France, you see a lot of beach, you see a lot of different kind of tourists that are coming to France just to relax with no definite itinerary, but to just explore, eat,
Hmm.
and visit the great
Ex-
architectures that
yeah.
they have built on many years ago. And
Hmm.
our expectations on the French Riviera was to just being blown up with the beauty, because we had seen the pictures, so we knew what we were going to. And be it the pebble beaches or be it the oldest architectures, we were just in to explore that side of France. And yes, it definitely lived up to our expectations, because to be honest, the other part is more better than the touristic part of France,
True.
because you have less tourists, you have good places to visit, and the architecture, the
Food.
history, the food
Food is
is
also very good.
is very good. And coming to Marseille, we did a lot of research when we
Hmm.
were visiting Marseille, and we knew what we were walking into, because we decided to start our trip from Nice and end the trip to Marseille, because that's where we were flying back to Krakow. So we decided to spend a day in Marseille. And there we knew that the place is known for a lot of things. And yes, it's the oldest city, like you mentioned, of France, but
Hmm.
it was also known for the
Criminal.
criminal records and not being the safest city. But the time we reached, we were so blown up with the
And
beauty of Marseille.
beauty, and also we were like, we felt that vibe as well initially,
Hmm.
but over the time, but it was mainly about near the station or the airport. But apart from that, the city is very beautiful and we were really mesmerized. The tourist places are like bang on, it is must visit. And but you need to be careful, obviously,
Yeah.
being to one of the most highest criminal records in Europe, and it
Eh,
is there, so you will feel the vibe initially, but overall the experience will be good. But you need to be like an extra cautious, and you have to pay attention to whatever things and your belongings.
Yeah, so during our research, we expected that yes, the city would have that some sort of vibe, but at the same time, it would be beautiful, and it did live up to that expectation. We
Okay.
could feel both the sides
Yeah,
of the Mars,
the
part where we were a little bit scared, but the part where we were like blown up by the beauty of Mars.
Let's discuss the safety bit in a little while. First, discuss what you did over there, the touristy bits of
Mm-hmm.
it, the parts that impressed you. Because I think travelers are first looking for that. At least, like, I
yeah.
should feel inspired to go first, then I can factor in the safety factor, whatever like needs to be taken care of a little bit later. The day you were there, what all did you see? What were the spots that you wanted to check out?
So we start our trip by visiting the Notre Dame Basilica. It's very beautiful and it is one of the oldest architecture in Marseille. And it is also called as, if I'm not wrong, guardian of the sailors. It's said that it protects all the fishermen and the sailors that are residing in Marseille. So it had a very unique history, and it is also said to have the 360 view of the city. We wanted to visit this place because we knew that if we start early in the morning, we could climb and we could go and we could have that panoramic view. So that was our first point. And anybody visiting Marseille, we'll recommend you to visit this place, because during summers, if you go during the afternoon time, it would be too hot, because everything's of marble and the stones, it gets too heated up. But if you go in the morning, you will have this beautiful view of the city, and just me, it looks beautiful. We were there and we spent around 2 hours,
two
I
to two
guess.
and a half
And, it was beautiful. So this was the first place that I wanted to visit. The second was the Longchamp Garden. This was a very beautiful garden. There's a waterfall, and people go there, have food, read a book. It was so good. They were just relaxing.
Hmm.
And apart from that, you can also visit the old port, which is said to
Hmm.
be the place where all the fishermen do the fishing, and then there are sailors. And then there's one side of the old port wherein you will see small boats that you can rent and you can go on a small trip. And if you are renting a boat and if you're going to travel in a boat, we'll recommend you to go to one of the very good hikes in Marseille, which is related to Corniche beach, something like that. And it's a very good place. You'll have to hike a little bit,
hike a little bit. Yeah,
but then you will see this cliff, and you will see, and you can dive there. If somebody has love for diving, you can do diving there. You can just sit there, explore, and it's a very good place. I'll
yeah.
recommend that. Yeah.
And also the old port area is like, it gives you a vibe of Middle East, and it is more like that. And there's also one museum there which is a must visit in the old port, so that was there. And
Just
then
opposite the old port, there's a
yeah,
museum.
there is
Yeah.
a museum. And just if you walk along that, take that road and walk along, then there is a Panier district. Like
Yeah.
it is quite famous, and there are a few corners like famous for ice creams and mainly sorbets. We have a photo as well. So that was the unique thing that we tried there. There, and it is also like famous for all other things. But yes, that was something which it gives you a vibe of like proper old town,
Yeah.
and it is like one of the oldest part of Marseille. So it is a must visit place, and the
Yeah.
narrow alleys, like it's very beautiful.
And at the same place, there's Fisherman Street. So Le
Yeah.
Panier is a district, and there you have this street, Fisherman Street, wherein you can go and there are artists that displays paintings, and
Mm.
you can just go and see those paintings, and they are so beautiful. And just next to that lane, there is the whole graffiti lane where you can just see a lot of graffiti done on the streets,
Mm.
and that's beautiful as well because it's not the usual graffiti that's made. It's very it's like a painting. There is mural as well that's created in those streets, so those streets are very beautiful, and actually one of the best streets if you're looking for shopping, if you're looking to buy some souvenirs. This is the place where you can go.
Nice. Yeah, I've seen some pictures in which like the street art looks really colorful. Like it's so
Yeah.
vibrant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, and I think you will see that beauty in the streets. At the same time, people, the windows and the colorful windows, the colorful
Yes.
houses. So it's just bring everything together.
Together,
It
yes.
looks very beautiful.
Did you guys do the boat tour? What you were saying? Did you guys take a tour?
We could not because it requires booking
Oh,
portal, but you have to do it a day before because the boats normally leave early in the morning.
okay.
So
And
Okay.
it is
if
a full day activity,
yeah.
and we did not had obviously that much of time,
Hmm.
and we wanted to explore the city rather than other places. Probably we'll definitely visit Marseille once again with some time in our hand so that we can explore all. There is one jail as well,
Yes,
and
that's the second thing that we wanted to do, but we
we
could
could
not.
not.
When we go again, we are going to cover this part wherein there is one jail. I think it is, what is it called?
Chateau de State Prison something.
Right. It's a
Yeah,
state prison. It's the oldest prison and it's in between the waters on an
waters.
island.
Oh.
And you can see it from Old Port. You can also see it from Basilica.
Basilica.
And but it's so old and it's still active. I don't
No,
know,
it's
but
not
you can
active. It is
go.
like a tourist place now, and it
Hmm.
is famous because there was one prisoner who escaped from that prison, and there's a book also written on that. I don't remember the name of the book, but there's a book on that as well, on that story. So that is quite interesting and famous. But you need to book that prior, and we did not have that time. So probably next
Hmm.
time when we are visiting, we'll definitely cover these places as well.
Yeah,
Hmm.
we can say that to visit Marcel completely, you at least require 2 days so
Yeah.
that you can do day trips to the places. And if you're
Hmm.
visiting for just one day, then you will be not be able to cover this kind of points.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like how you guys have already added to your list that this is for next time, like the water
Yes.
related activities. Okay. You mentioned the sorbet that you tried over there. Any other food items that you were able to try? Any dish that stood out for you?
Basically, we are vegetarians. Marseille is more famous for its fish,
Seafood.
seafood,
Hmm.
and
Yeah.
somebody who is visiting there, we will recommend you to try either fish or the local restaurants. But also, there are a lot of multicultural people in Marseille, and it's actually famous for that because it's one of the town in France that has a lot of multicultural
Yeah.
people. So you will
Hmm.
get a lot of food that belongs to different regions, whether
Hmm.
it's Indian, whether it's Arabic, Vietnamese.
Yeah.
So a lot of multicultural food. So you can, and there's a lot of street food as well. So you can explore and not just stick to one part. That's just, it's not like it has just one special food because of the multicultural people. It has lot of cuisines to offer, so
Hmm.
you can any of the cuisine. For us, we tried because we were just for a day, so we went to one of the Indian restaurant
Yeah.
in
Hmm.
Marseille.
Lunch we had at the Indian restaurant, and then we had dinner from one of the local store. We took pasta and some other things.
There was a Arabic guy who had that pasta, but with those pasta, the toppings were different, unique toppings. So you could choose near the station where you can go and have it. They also had a lot of good kebabs. that you can try. So yes, these are the things that you can try when you're in Marseille.
As vegetarians, you did not like struggle to find food in Marseille for sure,
Oh,
even though
no, no,
it's
we
No,
did
no, it was
not.
like
We did not. Even to the vegetarians out there, we normally check a lot of things before we eat, and sometimes there are even ice creams that may contain egg. So you need to be careful of what you're having if you're vegetarian or if you're Jain. So it was not hard for us to find ice creams without eggs. So we got to know it was easy for us.
that's good. I guess it's because it's so multicultural that it is very
Exactly.
yeah.
accommodative of these various different choices as well.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay. So where did you stay? It was a hotel or an Airbnb
Yeah,
or
yeah, yeah. We stayed at Hotel BNB.
Yeah.
It's a very good chain of hotels we book when we are traveling in Europe, because it's
Hmm.
not super expensive, nor it's too, let's say, cheap, but it's
It's
on a
a
very affordable range.
Yeah, it's mid-range and the rooms are quite good. They have everything and it's basically bed and breakfast. So you also have breakfast there and the locations they have, it's like very prime locations, like just next to the airport or just in the city center. If you search for Hotel BNB, it will be present in every center of a European city. So that is a
Hmm.
good thing about it. And if you book in advance, you get good discounts. We stayed near the airport because we had an early morning flight. So we
Hmm.
preferred that one.
Makes sense. How you were only there for that night, so you didn't really have to spend a lot of time over there, but still, like you went with you've stayed with the B&B brand previously as well.
Yeah.
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay, that's nice. So you had a good stay in the one in Marseille as well.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
it was very good because the location was apt. It was walking distance from the
Yes.
airport, but we took a cab, of course, because it was early morning flight. But yes, somebody who wants to stay nearby the airport can look for Hotel BNB. Definitely.
Okay.
And if you get a view from your room that flights are continuously landing. So
Landing.
if you're fond of that, you can have that as well. Keep looking to the flights take off and land. That was
Hmm.
also a good thing. It's not very high storage building, but it was good. So
Hmm.
I was like, okay, I'm seeing that.
Yes. If somebody wants to stay in Marseille for a couple of days, we recommend to stay in the city center,
Hmm.
because we were mentioning about the places where tourists normally reside. It's the
City
center.
center.
So we won't suggest people stay far due to a lot of things or a lot of activities that happen. But city center is the location where you should book your accommodations.
So were you able to explore the spots you wanted on foot, or did you have to take some mode of conveyance?
No, actually, we had to take public transport because places are not very few places are like close to each other, but few
Hmm.
places like the Notre-Dame Basilica and there's places there is one famous stadium which has closed roof, so that is one of the very famous stadium in France. So places like that, it is situated far. You can take a day pass or a city pass as well, which includes if you take a city pass, like it will include all the attractions entries, and if you have a day pass covers transport part of it. So we took the day pass and we covered via like the public transport, the buses and the trams.
Okay. Was it easy to get that pass? Is it easily available online or
Yeah, it was
um,
easy. Normally, you can go to any of the train station or tram station, and there's a machine where you can just go and buy a day pass
okay.
and pay by card. And just remember to scan it the first time you use it so that it gets validated. So once you buy the pass, it's not validated. You have to validate it to start your trip. Normally, that, or else if you're traveling in buses, then they ask you to just on one of the screener there, and if it's valid, it's green and you can enter. And I would say in overall in France in general, if you go to any of the tram or metro station, you can, it's the best place to buy any of the pass that you want.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, that's great. Yeah. I had stopped you a little bit about that safety discussion that we were having earlier. Let's come back to it now. I want to know what were the concerns that were coming up when you were doing the research about visiting Marseille.
Okay, so we researched while we were traveling to Marseille, and we knew that okay, it's a place which is also famous for the criminal activities that happen. and the drug activities, and it's not one of the safest place to visit in France due to its crime records. And but we also knew, we also did research if it's a good place to visit or not, and we were like, no, the place is very beautiful, so we have to visit, but at the same time we have to take care of lot of things when we visit there. Yes, if we say what was our experience, we did felt that vibe, because yes, in Marseille you will see people selling some things that are not so legal on the streets as well on some, because when you're traveling from one point to another, we can say the tourist places are very much safe, but it's also like when you're traveling from one place to another, you're going via a lot of districts, a lot of different places as well, right? So when you
Hmm.
do that, when you change your trams, you are also at those places which is famous for some other activities. So that
Hmm.
places you have to be a little careful. People may come to you, sell something, but then you have to take care. And the scams that happen are also very common. I think the scams are also very common in France, where in
Overall,
general,
yeah.
because
Hmm.
the we have heard a lot of scams happens, pickpocketing happening. So it's the same in Marseille as well. You have to
Hmm.
take care of your belongings. You have to see what places you're visiting before you go there. It's a place that I would say that needs to be researched, planned, and then go and visit, because it's not like a sudden trip and you can go to Marseille and explore it.
Yeah.
Hmm.
You have to be vigilant on what places you want to cover and plan accordingly.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense. Yeah. Did you guys feel unsafe at any point, or any? Did you have any bad experience while you were there?
So,
Luckily, no bad experience.
yeah,
But when we reached the train station, we there were many people just continuous staring at you. They are coming to you, and the number of police that are active, they are holding people now and then. So that was quite common to see.
yeah,
Luckily, we were
police
not
people running behind thieves.
behind. So
Hmm.
those were the things at first we were is this real? Like we have never seen something like that in Europe. But as soon as you move to more touristic places, right? So
Hmm.
things change, and then your perspectives change, and the places. And just one thing, that police is really active there,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
they're available every places. They do continue rounding, knowing that the city has not a very good name, I would say, but they're
Hmm.
trying to make that up. And we never faced any challenges, or we were lucky, I would say. But overall, we felt the vibe mainly near the station, and the look and people approaching to sell something or trying to help you out. That is not that common in Europe, so it
Yeah.
makes a little bit worrisome, but overall experience was very good.
Yeah, that's the reason why we are highlighting this as well, because people who are planning to visit should know things about happening
Yeah.
actually. Because the first place that you visit is either the station
Uh,
or the
Hmm.
airport or the tram station, right? Because
Yeah.
that's where you're commuting and you land up in Marseille. So the first impression that you will have might be like
Yeah.
what's happening, because
yeah.
you will see all these things happening. But the
Yeah.
moment you step out of the station, you try go to a tourist place, you will be all happy
Yeah.
and you will be like, oh, the place is so good. So yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that makes a lot of sense. Especially like if you're prepared for it, then you're better equipped to
Yes.
deal with that situation for sure. Great. It was a good insight that you guys shared. Anything else that you think that first time travelers to Marseille should know, or any tips that you would have for them?
So one of the tip that we can share with the people who are traveling is that if you don't carry too much luggage, because so this is very common in European cities that you have luggage storage in major of these stations. But in Marseille, we found that luggage storage too small. First of all, that we could not go and keep the bags, and then there are more of private store your luggage facilities available, but then it's too costly and it's per bag. So if you're traveling with too much luggage and
Yes.
you are not staying, or you're, let's say you're many times in France, the accommodation is after 3 p.m. So till
Hmm.
3 p.m. you have to carry that bag and go to places. So be careful with that, because I we don't want you to travel with lot of luggage and then climbing the stairs. So it won't be easy. But the good thing is that you can keep your luggage on the station. That's where we kept it. It's slightly expensive, but it would be safe. So
Okay,
yeah,
that makes a lot. Yeah. Did you guys struggle with the language at any point? Was it possible to communicate in English while you were there, or was it challenging at any point?
so it was challenging at some places, definitely, because, and I would say not, it's the same in France overall, because
Hmm.
language is a barrier,
Yeah.
we would say, because not a lot of people speak English. But the good thing about Marseille is it's being multicultural. A lot of people do speak English. So if you're out of tourist places, there might be some cases that you will feel that the
Language is a
person language
barrier.
is a barrier, but normally in Marseille you will feel that everybody is speaking in English.
Okay,
But
that's
it's
good.
good to
Yeah.
learn like basic phrases in French if you are coming to France, and that helps. And that makes them happy that at least you are trying, and then you switch to English. That's what we do generally. We
Yeah, we
start
start
with
with bonjour and then we end it merci beaucoup, but all in the middle is English. So
yes,
Okay.
so that makes them happy that okay, the person is at least trying or wishing before
Hmm.
looking for something.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, I think that is quite popular like thing about France that they don't really want to speak English. But in
yeah,
Marseille, since there are like multicultural people, I guess they have to.
Yeah,
yeah.
exactly.
Yeah. I'm almost like towards the end of my question. The last thing that I wanted to know from you is, did you bring back any souvenir from Marseille or the French Riviera to remember your trip by?
Oh,
A
yes,
lot.
we brought a lot of souvenirs. So, French Riviera is generally famous for a lot of things. Okay, we found that every town is famous for
Different things.
things. For example, Marseille is famous for soaps. So, you can bring a lot of good handmade soaps from there. Then, if you're visiting French Riviera, Nice is popular for perfumes. So, you
Mm.
can actually go and create your own perfume and bring it back.
Yeah.
And if you're visiting just Marcel, I would definitely recommend the soaps that they
Soaps.
have. It's very good. We bought few of them and it was great. And of course, we brought our fridge magnets because that's one thing that
That
we
we
have
collect.
and that we collect from each place. And we found a lot of good fridge magnets in
Magnets.
Normally, you will find not so creative ones, but in Marseille, because of the paintings and because of the street arts, they were very innovative ones that we could find.
Oh wow.
So that's one thing that you can buy from there.
So good souvenirs can be found in the French
Yes.
Riviera.
Yes. You will also get a lot of lavender related things because
Hmm.
the Provence town is just
Yes,
nearby.
nearby.
So you will find a lot of it. And of course, do not miss the wine. You can go for wine tasting. You can buy a lot of wines.
Yeah, I guess that's for you guys. It's the next trip that you'll try that out.
Definitely.
Definitely.
Yeah. So you're definitely going back to Marseille
Yes.
sometime soon.
Yeah,
Yes.
probably in summers.
Probably in summers or the shoulder seasons that we will
Yeah.
plan to. And we'll also cover the other cities that we wanted to cover in the French Riviera, like Menton and everything.
Menton, Antibes.
Antibes.
Yeah.
Oh wow. So this time, when you went, it was not summer. What season was it?
It was peak summers.
July
Okay.
peak summer. So
Yeah.
this time, and that's why we decided like next time we go, we'll go in shoulder season so that the crowd is less and we can explore more. But ideally, if you are coming for the first time, I would say go in summers because the days are quite long and you get a lot of time to explore, and
Hmm.
you also feel safe because there's sunlight like till 10 p.m. So that is good
Hmm.
thing too. And that is thing that you need to take care of in the first trip to Marseille.
Hmm. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. So thank you so much, Abhijeet and Kajal, for joining me today and sharing all about your trip. It was lovely chatting with you, and I really hope that the viewers will find the information and the details that you have shared today useful, especially the fact that if they have any concerns about visiting Marseille, those can be what you shared, that it can be taken care of with good planning and just being cautious in some places and spots especially. So
Yeah.
thank you so much for all the insights you have shared today.
Thank you, Ananya.
Thank
It
you.
was
Yeah.
like pleasure talking to you and sharing the insights of Marseille with you and the audience who's going to watch.
So, but we will sign off for today. Bye-bye and have a nice day.
Thank
Thank you
you.
so much. Have a good day.
Bye.